There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. Melissa Service Pack 7 is now controlling transmission.
Uh-oh.
Hey everybody. Sorry I'm looking like a drowned rat right now. I just took a shower, so excuse my appearance. There's a slight addendum that I wanted to add on to my video about self-incorporated. I'm going to show you the modest pads that I got at Dollar Tree that were the same brand as the ones that Susanna bought in the video. And I have a funny story for you that has to do with that episode, sort of. I went to a thrift store and I saw, okay, everything in the store was half off, okay? So I saw this big bag of tampons, like this big. The bag was marked $1.99, so I would have gotten it for $1. And there must have been about 30 of them in there. And these were name brand, okay? They weren't just, no, and I'm like, $1 for like 30 of them? Because if you buy them in the store and you're getting a name brand, you're gonna pay at least probably $5, $6 or whatever. And I'm all about saving money, So I said, oh, I'm gonna get these. They were Playtex brand, yes. So I didn't pay much attention to the font on them till I got home. I had used maybe 4 or 5 of them, and as I was unwrapping one, I started to notice something odd. I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the wrapper, and I'm like, this is a really weird font. This is different. And I'm all about fonts. I love fonts. I study the names of them. I use them in my videos sometimes. I use them in my logos. So I Googled Playtex fonts, and I found out that the tampons I had been using were about 30 years old. These tampons were from the mid to late 80s. Yes. And the thing is, they looked brand new. The wrappers looked new. They weren't like yellowed with age or anything like that. They looked perfectly normal when I took them out of the package. And I've never seen tampons from the 80s because I was too young to have had my period back then. I didn't get it till the 90s. So, and they look just like tampons we have today. There really wasn't much difference. In fact, I saved a couple of them to show you because I'm going to keep them for nostalgic purposes. So this is one called a Playtex Portable. Whoops. Let me just excuse my horrid nails. Okay. And the thing that also prompted me to check to see how old these things were is that there's a good housekeeping seal of approval on there. Can you see that? Wait. Okay. Tampons don't have good housekeeping seal of approval anymore. They don't have that symbol. They stopped putting that symbol on things, I think, in the early 90s, late 80s maybe. And here's another one. Unfortunately, it's a little, the packaging is kind of, I'm sorry, the writing is worn off, but do you see how that font just kind of has an 80s look to it? It just, yeah, it says 80s, and me of all people, I love the 80s. I should have known. I should have recognized it right away. These are from the 80s, but no, I was just like, I get a bargain here, But, yeah, and actually, I paid $1. They were $1.99. This bag was like full when I got it, And I'm still alive. I didn't get toxic shock syndrome. They worked perfectly fine. In fact, I think they work better than some new, up-to-date ones that I've bought. So, yeah, if you buy tampons or pads and get them in the thrift store, make sure they are wrapped, okay? Make sure they haven't been tampered with, and look at the fonts on the packaging. And if you see a good housekeeping seal of approval, they're old. I'm not going to tell you to use them, that it's okay to use them. I'm not going to recommend it, but I'm just going to say that from my experience, they were perfectly fine. They worked great. But I did stop using them when I noticed that they were like 30-something years old. Now, what would have been really, really cool about this is if they had been from the 70s and they were like the Modest brand, but maybe someday I will find some from the 70s. Maybe someday I'll find some of those giant ones that Susanna had, you know. And if I do, I'm not going to use that. No. But anyways, next up, I'm going to show you the Modest brand pads, along with a clip of Susanna buying her Modest brand pads from the episode Changes. And hopefully, when I show you that clip, my hair will be dry and I won't look like a drowned rat. All right. Bye.
Oh, excuse me. That's okay. Where are the super feminine napkins, please? The new beltless ones? Beltless? I didn't know there was a beltless napkin in Super. There is now. New Stay Free Super Maxi Pads. They're super feminine protection. They're thicker. But do they stay secure? Sure. The adhesive strip is extra wide. Wow. A super napkin and beltless comfort, too. Mm-hmm.
Stay Free regular maxi pads introduces Stay Free Super Maxi Pads, the first beltless napkin in Super.
Okay, so here she goes into the People's Drug Store to buy the Modest pads. Here it comes. There they are, Modest teenage. Oh, can't let them see.
Just as I had promised you, I'm going to show you the Modest brand pads, the same brand that Susanna bought in the drugstore on the episode of Self-Incorporated called Changes. I present to you Modest. However, the ones that she got said Modest Teen on it. I couldn't find that. I didn't actively go out looking for these. I just happened to see them in Dollar Tree, and I bought them for the purpose of this video when I analyzed that show. I don't know if they make the teen ones anymore, but I'm not going to open these because obviously they're new. They're not going to look like what they had in the 70s. So anyway, yeah, I'm just a little bit obsessed with that show. And no, I'm not going to use these. Okay. Bye.
I love this part right here. The cashier he knows she's embarrassed, and he takes the time out to keep it covered with the newspaper and puts it in the bag. That's great. That's really cool.